What's going on, guys? Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I'm Jeffrey Cooperstein. Just wanted to get the pulse of how everybody's feeling after yesterday. It was a big win against the Houston Rockets. The Mavs have won 2 in a row now, defeating the Boston Celtics and the Rockets in back-to-back games. They have Sacramento here on Monday, followed by the Golden State Warriors on Wednesday and the Miami Heat on Thursday to round out the first half of the season before the All-Star break. And look, yesterday was a really weird day. It all started, obviously, with the protest outside of the American Airlines Center with the Luka Doncic trade. Protesting that, there were signs that saying "Fire Nico." There were chants out there. There were signs. There was everything. It had a little bit of everything. It was a pretty surreal scene that they had police presence out there. They had barricades. They had this. They had that, and it was wild to see Mavs fans all come together and protest something that they believed they were wronged by. And I absolutely agree with them protesting. I thought it was very well done. And for the most part, it was peaceful as far as I saw. So that was good. And what I didn't like was the American Airlines Center staff not letting people in with their signs or wearing shirts that say "Fire Nico" or wearing shirts that say whatever, and some people had tape over Mavericks logos that the ushers told them to take off. I don't like that. Like, people should be able to protest in the arena however they want. They bought the tickets, they paid their hard-earned money to watch this team, and they feel like they were wronged, and they should be able to express themselves in that manner. So I didn't like that, but I thought the protest was very well done. They had a few hundred people out there, it looks like, and definitely made Mavs fans' voices heard. I think the overwhelming majority of Mavs fans would say they disagree with this trade. To trade Luka Doncic, the 25-year-old superstar who's going to be a superstar in Los Angeles for years and years to come. And I really don't like the kind of smear campaign that's going on from the Mavericks towards Luka. First, it was Nico Harrison saying he's not in peak condition and isn't doing the things necessary to create a winning culture. And Patrick Dumont earlier this morning told the Dallas Morning News and Brad Townsend, who's a great reporter, by the way, that he kind of fully stands behind Nico and echoes the sentiments that he didn't think that Luka was preparing like to be an NBA champion. He named Kobe, he named Michael Jordan, and then he named Shaquille O'Neal, which was weird because Kobe famously said if Shaq wasn't lazy, he'd have 12 rings. So I thought that was an interesting comparison, but the way that the Mavericks have kind of handled this exit and kind of smearing Luka's name on the way out doesn't really sit right with me, and I think this team just needs to take a hard look at how they've conducted themselves over the past 7+ days. I don't like it. I know the fans don't like it. And I think they're pretty tired of everything that they're seeing right now. We'll talk about the game here in just a few moments, but I do need to tell you guys about our sponsor, which of course is PrizePicks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. PrizePicks has over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, making daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you can win up to 1,000 times your cash on PrizePicks. And the big game is later this afternoon. Don't miss out on real money action with the big game with PrizePicks. All you have to do is just, like I said, pick 2 to 6 players, and we have a special promotion right now where Patrick Mahomes will only need to throw for more than half a yard. If you think Mahomes is going to throw for 1 yard in the Super Bowl, you just pair that up with another projection and you watch your winnings roll in. How do you play? It is super easy. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive that bonus. It is guaranteed. Again, download the app, use code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. It is PrizePicks. Run your game. That link will be clickable in the comments and the description of today's show. All right, getting to the game yesterday, Anthony Davis, fantastic debut. And that's what I've kind of said from the get-go. It's like, Anthony Davis is a hell of a basketball player. I know he's not Luka, and he's not what Luka meant to the city and whatnot. I think AD, if he's healthy, and we'll get to the health in a moment, if he's healthy, is a top 5 player in this league. That first quarter was unbelievable. He had a basket. Ime Udoka of the Rockets called a timeout. AD just goes, I'm here. here. So that got me hyped up. I won't lie to you. I thought the crowd was pretty electric in the game, and they were cheering for AD and they were rooting him on. And it looked pretty cool, man. Like, seeing AD in a Mavs uniform was cool. I just wish, of course, it was with Luka. And then late in the third quarter, he kind of had a little spasm. That's what he said it was after the game, with his previous abdomen injury, and he did not return to the game. Now, apparently Davis, according to Shams Charania of ESPN, tried to return to the game, but the Mavericks staff kept it. They took precaution, and they did not return him to the game. And after the game, he said it wasn't serious. He just felt a little something and loosened it back up. Was ready to go out there, apparently. So we'll see if he plays tomorrow against Sacramento. I think he will, but that all remains to be seen. PJ Washington as well went out with the sprained ankle, so we'll see. He's probably going to miss at least the rest of the first half of these next 3 games is my guess. He'll take the All-Star break and be back after that. So the All-Star break coming at a pretty good time for the Mavs to try to get everyone healthy. It seems like Dante Exum, who has come back just a few games ago, is kind of getting himself into form as well. So that'll be nice for them to get that break. And then after the break, I'm curious to see what this team looks like if they're fully healthy. Like I said, I think your fully healthy starting 5 is Kyrie, it's Clay, it's PJ, it's Anthony Davis, and Daniel Gafford. Lively obviously not going to be back for a while, so I think that's your starting 5. But Max Christie has played really, really well over his first 3-4 games, and he's staking a claim to be a part of this rotation going forward. And if it were me, I'd experiment with having Max Christie in that starting lineup, either next to Klay Thompson or with Klay coming off the bench as the 6th man. The Mavericks did set a franchise record with blocks in that game on Saturday against Houston with 18, and they're going to be a very good defensive unit with Anthony Davis out there playing the 4, and that is, whether you agree with it or not, was Nico Harrison and Jason Kidd's vision for this team. Is they want to be a defense-first team because they know that the offense will come, and when you match up against teams like the Houston Rockets, like the Denver Nuggets, like the Lakers, who they might see later if they see the Lakers in a playoff series, that'll just be insane. But now that you have this abundance, so to speak, of size, you'll be able to match up with the Oklahoma City Thunders of the world, and we'll see what happens in the postseason. Mavs got to get there first. They may have to do it via the play-in, but we will see what happens. And also, if you missed it, the Lakers trade for Mark Williams did get rescinded. They failed him on his physical, so the Lakers no longer have their starting big man, and Dalton Knecht goes back to LA. So I don't know if the Lakers are as formidable as we once feared with Mark Williams and that lob threat playing with Luka, because now you're looking at like Jackson Hayes, Maxi Kleba, Christian Coloco, and Christian Wood as your bigs on the Los Angeles Lakers. So I think the Mavs do stack up well there. It's been a week of emotions, that's for sure. If you're a Dallas Mavericks fan, like seeing Anthony Davis play that way in a Mavericks uniform is super awesome. And what's crazy is I was thinking about this. AD, probably the 3rd best player to ever play for the Mavs. Like, it's pretty insane. And I just really hope, and this is coming from a Mavs fan myself, I really hope that we embrace him like he deserves, because I know we're all so hurt about the Luka trade, but at the end of the day, AD is a Mav, and hopefully the Mavs fans can get some joy out of that. And like he said, hopefully he can bring life back to the city, man, because after the Luka trade, I know we were all hurting in it, and it really did hurt. So that's going to be it for today's show. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me here on Super Bowl Sunday. Let me know who you guys got down in the comments, Chiefs or Eagles. I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I'm rooting for our guy, Pat Mahomes, who's a Mavs fan. Let me know down below, and be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's youtube.com/MavsTV. We'll come at you on Monday with another video. We're going to be doing a watch party on Wednesday this week for the Mavericks and Warriors game, so check that out, and we'll see you guys soon. Let's go Mavs.